Good morning. I'm happy to share Sunday morning with you. It's really, for me, very important to have these classes every day. It keeps me grounded. It helps me remember that there are important um, things to consider and to only be thinking of myself and my health or myself and my children's health and just kind of keeping it in this small secluded isolated unit just to be thinking of that doesn't really feel good. Actually, it feels um, more true to think about others and to also help others. So if there is something that you're already doing to help others outside of your small circle, um, take a moment to feel the joy in that. And if you haven't figured out what that means or what it is or how you can do it, just meditating itself is quite helpful when we think about others. Thoughts are so powerful. So we can think about others, and in that, we are helping. At this time, we're going to start by coming to a seat. Oh, not that way, this way. And we're going to practice Brahmari, um, which is essentially we'll be inhaling through the nose, and then we'll be exhaling with voice out through the mouth, but we'll keep the lips sealed. So essentially, we're humming, but it's a regulated hum, and it's going to be at a lower tone. Excuse me. We're going to hum at a lower tone, so a lower note. And we'll be covering some of our senses. We'll be closing the eyes while we put a little pressure. We'll have the sense of touch of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. And then we'll have the fleshy part of the ears, we'll be closing that like a plug so that we are not noticing external sounds. And so that way we are really experiencing the vibratory nature of the voice. So once you find your seat, we will begin this. And then we'll move into our mantra. We'll sound Om, move into Shiva mantra, Om Shanti. And that's when we start our physical practice. So this helps us become more and more present. The practice itself of Brahmari, it calms the mind, it centers the mind. So we can create a much more crisp focus. And so some of you have practiced with this with me in the past, and some it might be new. But let's begin. So we'll have the elbows to the knees, and before you close your ears, right, you're going to take the 4 fingers to the eyes and put pressure. You'll be closing the ears off in a moment, but again, you're going to bring the tongue to the roof of the mouth. And then you're going to relax the mouth itself. So feel like the mouth is widening. So we're going to go through this probably for a minute or so. And when you start sensing that it's about over, or you might be able to hear my voice over your hum, then you can release. You might have to peek. But just do your best here. So first, let's start with a breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Once again. Closing eyes, putting a little pressure there, closing ears, and then a deep breath in. finish this last humming sound, and then let's sit in silence for a moment. So just releasing the hands, keeping eyes closed, and feeling the effects. At this time, we'll come to a comfortable seat to begin with our invocation. And this will take us further into remembering what the purpose of this practice is for, remembering the higher purpose of this practice of yoga, even though we're practicing hatha yoga. That's one aspect of this really golden practice. So we'll bring the palms together, thumbs to the heart center. Come into Ujjayi Pranayama with the practice we just were involving ourselves in. Now we can find that deep breath right away. Deep breath in through the nose. Open mouth, fog it out. Mouth stays open, fog in. Close the mouth, exhale through the nostrils. Translation of Shiva Mantra. I bow to the presence of the divine within, our true and highest teacher, that lives in and around us as being, consciousness, and bliss. It is ever present and radiates peace, lighting the way to transformation. I'll chant Om 3 times first. Deep breath in. Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay, we'll release the hands. You can switch the order of the ankles for a moment, just in case the legs are getting tired. And then we'll bring the chin to the chest. Give a little bit of movement to the head. Bring the head to center, let the head come back. Bring the head to center, lower chin to chest. You can do this on the exhale. On the inhale, lift the head. Exhale, lower. This time, inhale, lift the head and take the hands behind the head and begin to take the head back into the hands so we're not collapsing the neck, but finding lots of extension. And then exhale, lower chin to chest. You can keep hands right here, put gentle pressure. Inhale, lift the head, take it back. Exhale, lower. Just a few more of these. And then we'll bring the head to center, release the hands down. Take the head to the left, and then inhale back to center. Exhale, take it to right. Inhaling center. Continue this a few more times. Now, as you go through side to side with the head, you might roll the shoulder, opposite shoulder. As you move head away from that shoulder, just circle once or twice, one way, the other way. Just play around. Maybe you go through one more time each way. And then once you find the head back in the middle, lower the chin to the chest again. Take a clearing breath here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Circle the head a couple times. So a couple times one way, a couple times the other way. And remember that when you're seated, this is called Sukhasana, easy posture. I think one time somebody laughed at that, in class. It's like, what do you mean easy posture? You're right, it's not easy if you have tightness in the hips. Um, in India, where yoga began so many thousands of years ago, people were accustomed to sitting on the floor, so this was technically pretty easy. Once the chin comes down to the chest, shake the head out, bring the head to center. So you have to be creative in creating your own modifications for this. Especially in this class, we spend some time sitting. That means use blankets, prop the hips up, maybe sit on the blocks if you have them. But make a commitment to being creative and finding your modifications. Now we're going to come to lying on the back. And once you're on the back, extend the legs, take the arms behind and find length. Lift the belly button. The next exhalation, bring the right knee into the chest. Now we're going to just find some specific movements here to kind of get the muscles going, begin to open up. So you have right knee in, take the left arm out to the left, guide the right knee to the right. Take a deep breath here. So we're pressing into that inner knee, and then we'll bring the knee to center and guide the knee with the left hand over to the left. Bring the right arm out to the right. Take a deep breath in and out. Bring the knee to center. Nice big squeeze as you lift the head as well. Work the forehead towards the knee. Take an exhale and pull the belly in towards the spine. And then elongate that leg. Take the arms behind. Find length. Exhale, left knee in. Draw the knee in. And now right arm out to the right. Guide the left knee to the left. Pressing it down. Make sure this foot is active. So if it's just kind of flimsy, you'll feel less. If you flex the ankle, you're going to feel a little bit more. And bring the knee to center, right hand to left knee, guiding it to the right. Left arm out to the left. Bring the knee to center, hug the knee in as you lift the head. On the exhalation, pull the belly in towards the spine. It's a nice way to create strength and tone without crunches. Is that that effort behind pulling the belly in on the exhale. Release the leg, take the arms behind, find length. And then exhale, bring that right knee in. Let's lift the head here. Lower the head down. Guide the right knee over to the right. Left arm comes out for balance. Inhale the knee to center. Take that knee over to the left. So a little quicker. Inhaling the knee to center. And then once again, lift the head, pull the belly in on the exhale. Release this leg, find length. Continue with the other side. Left knee in. Head lifts. Head lowers. Right arm out to the right, left knee to the left. Bring the knee to center. Take the knee to the right, coordinating with your breath. Inhaling the knee to center. Lift the head. Elongate the leg, the arms, and then begin on the other side. We're going to go a couple more rounds at your pace, and then we'll add to this. So after those 2 rounds, we'll go ahead and find length. Meet with the belly button lifting. So a nice gentle back bend here. And then bringing both of the knees in. Give them both a big squeeze. And then find a happy baby. So you can grasp the feet with the hands. And we're going to explore. So you're holding a part of each foot, right? Go ahead and just switch. Find another part of the foot. So if you were holding the outer edges of the feet, look for the inner edges, for example. If you're holding more of the ball of the foot area, maybe bring your hands to the heels and see what that feels like. And maybe you can bend the knees a little bit more, or maybe you could straighten them a little bit more. And notice sensations that you're experiencing in the back of the legs or the hips. A little bit more challenging maybe is, or just different really, maybe not even challenging, is taking the hands, the forearms, and wrapping them around the legs, and then finding the outer feet, outer edges of the feet with the hands. So taking forearms behind calves. Another 2 breaths wherever you are. And then we'll start to come out of this, bringing the knees back in, give them a nice big squeeze. Elongate the legs again, take the arms behind, find length, lift the belly button. So this time we'll go ahead and bring the right knee in, just as we did before. Bring that knee closer. Now, like a bag of groceries, we're going to wrap this right arm around the leg, and so that the elbow is like towards the knee, and then we're going to take this leg out to the right. Now, maybe that's not available or it doesn't feel right, then you can keep that arm to the inside of the leg and press it down. So the knee is still traveling to the right. Just we're going to linger here a little bit more. So see if maybe another variation feels right. So if you're holding this leg like a bag at the hip, then go ahead and take that arm, and let's all do this because we're going to create some resistance actually. That's going to help us get a little deeper. With the arm to the inside of that leg, push the leg and the arm into each other on the inhale and then release on the exhale. And we'll do this 2 more times. Inhaling, pushing arm and leg in, and then exhaling, just pushing the leg down. Once again, and then exhaling. So now we'll take 3 deep breaths like this. Now we're going to go a little bit further by bringing the right foot. So you're going to take right hand to right foot and begin to pull the foot in. So it's coming out to the left now. And we have this right shin in front of the trunk. So now we're going to have hands to the foot and knee, or elbows to the foot and knee. You might have to lift the trunk a little bit to get there. And then we'll be taking some deep breaths here. So it's like a pigeon's posture, but on the back and using the arms, right? It's using the strength of the arms rather than gravity. Now we'll use the belly like we did before. Lift the head, and then about 3 deep breaths on every exhalation. Pull the belly in towards the spine. So you really want to feel the belly contract on that exhale. And then we'll bring the head down. Let the knee come to center. Guide this knee over to the left, just like we did before, but a little longer this time. Right arm out to the right. Turn the head to the right as well, coming into a nice twist. And we'll inhale, come to center. Okay, you can bring the knee in, lift the head, and then release the leg. Find length with both legs. Take the arms behind. Now, before we go to the left side, see internally, obviously, right, how the left leg feels compared to the right. So notice the leg, especially the hip now. Left hip, right hip, and then left groin area, right groin area. Might be so subtle in this position. And then we'll go ahead and work with the left side. Bring the left knee in. Draw that leg in towards the chest, and now we'll go a little deeper. So we'll take that left leg and maybe wrap the elbow around that leg and draw the leg to the left. And the right arm comes out to the right just to create stability and groundedness of the body so that it's not like lifting and being carried away by one part of the body. So now we'll take that left arm to the inside of the left leg, if it wasn't there already, And then we'll create some resistance here. So pushing the leg and the arm into each other, and then exhale, just pushing the leg down. Inhaling, pushing in, exhaling, pressing the leg down, resisting again on the inhale, and exhaling. So 3 deep breaths. This area of the body is really important to keep open with all the sitting that we do. It's important to neutralize that position. Okay, another deep breath. I almost don't want to come out of this posture. I can tell I'm benefiting. But we will. Because if we were in this posture all day, then we would have a lot of work to do to neutralize this. So we're going to bring that uh, left foot and pull it so that it's coming over to the right. And now we'll position the leg for our variation of a reclining pigeon's posture. So maybe holding foot and knee with hands or elbows. It takes time to really find the spot where we're going to focus and breathe. But even then, we'll notice, oh, I could go a little further. And then we modify and keep changing every posture. And that's how this practice evolves. It's how the body evolves and the mind. So at this time, we'll lift the head and then we'll take 3 deep breaths. So every exhalation, pulling the belly in. On the inhale, letting the belly fill and expand. It's going to rise, it's going to press out. And the head comes down. You can release the foot. Now the knee is in the center, and then we'll take that knee to the right, left arm out to the left, turning the head to the left. Another 2 breaths. And we'll come back to center. You can lift the knee, lift the head, and then elongate both legs. Reach the arms back. Bring the knees into the chest. Let's come back into a happy baby for a moment before we shift out of our position on the back and start to, you know, get further away from the floor. It's nice to be on the floor sometimes, though. And just see how this has changed. You'll notice maybe the hips are more open, the upper legs more open. We might notice now the lower legs seem even tighter, maybe. because now you're comparing them between, the upper parts of the legs, the lower parts of the legs, feeling tighter as a result. So let's just kind of move around a little bit, explore, look for a different variation. And then we will start to come out of this, bring the knees in. We're going to meet in seated. So when you're ready, roll up or roll to the side and press up. And we're going to come to seated one of two ways, or whatever way works for you. What I'm going to do is sit on blocks to come into a hero's posture. So basically, if you have blocks, you maybe need one or two, you're just going to sit right on top of it and have the feet outside of the hips. Again, you can use firm blankets like we had before. Some might not need a block. You might be fine like this. It's just a little bit of pressure on the knee. Now, once we're here, bring the hands to the shoulders, 4 fingers to the shoulders, and the thumbs behind the shoulders. On the inhale, take the elbows back, heart forward, head comes back. On the exhale, bring the elbows together, lower the head down. Inhale, open. Exhale, closing, contracting. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract. Continue this with a rhythmic pace. Couple more. And then we'll go ahead and find a neutral spine. Bring the arms alongside the body. Drop the chin to the chest. Take a big circle with the head. Go one way. Let's take 2 total this way, 2 the other. And once you find the chin to the chest, shake the head out and bring the head to center. We're not going to recline all the way, but we are going to recline a little bit at this point. So start to take the hands back. And again, if it's like, oh, this is too much, this is really hard, I can't do it. You may either have issues with your knees and then don't do it. Maybe bring the soles of the feet together and modify. Or you might elevate the hips and then just take the hands behind. And this is where we're going. So we're just, walking hands a little bit back and squeezing the shoulders back, looking for a back bend. So taking the heart forward, or the heart is upwards, the head is coming back slightly. And then walk back to center. A little bit more on the knees, but this time we'll remove the blocks and sit on top of the heels. But if that's too much, then you can stand on the knees. So at this point, we'll take the arms out. Now we're going to change the breath. So the constriction in the throat and that ujjayi breath, you can release that. And we're going to be breathing in and out through the nose still. And it'll have to be more forceful because it's going to be quicker. So bring the arms out to a T. And on the inhale, bring the tops of the hands to each other. On the exhale, arms to a T. Inhaling, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Continue. Make sure the shoulders don't rise, just the arms. A little longer. One more time, inhaling up, interlace the fingers and extend the fingers up. Now we're going to come into breath of fire. But if you have issues with high blood pressure, you can just breathe deeply at this point and just come back to that deep breath. If you want to try breath of fire, they're quick pulses, exhaling pulses, and the belly pushes out on those exhales. So if you're going to do that, we'll take a deep breath in through the nose, pulsing your exhale. Deep breath in and out. In and release. You can bring palms together, thumbs to the heart center. Just close the eyes. Come back to deep breath with the constriction in the throat. Maybe blow your nose, that'll clear up some of the nasal passageways. Just be with the effects of that breath and movement. Okay, so we're going to meet in child's posture, balasana. You can separate the knees, bring the big toes together, lower the hips, lower the trunk. A nice clearing breath here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Rise up to table posture, hands and knees. We're going to come down to the forearms today. So once we're on the forearms, extend the right leg behind and bring the ball of the foot to the mat. Press through the heel. Squeeze the shoulders back. So if you want to know, well, what's that like here? So it's not a sinking into the shoulder girdle. Still pushing into the elbows to keep the chest lifted, but just squeezing shoulders back. Now pull the pelvis in, and then go ahead and lift that right leg and shift the weight forward into the left knee and the elbows. On the next exhale, bring the knee to the nose so the head comes down, the knee comes up. Inhale, extend the leg, look forward. Exhale, knee to nose. Continue. Make any adjustments you need so you make sure that that left knee and the left hip line up with each other. I'll extend one more time and then bring the knee down. Right when the knee comes down, pick up the left knee but bring the ball of the foot to the mat, pressing through the heel. Squeezing shoulders back still, pulling pelvis inward. Lifting the left leg up. And then knee to nose and continue at the pace of the breath. Long, regulated breath. One more. Extend the leg. And then we'll bring the knee down. Come back into a child's posture, balasana. Notice how this posture is changing right before your eyes. Or we could joke and say right before your inner eye. And a clearing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's make our way towards standing. So we're going to come up to a table posture. If you want, you could take a vinyasa. You could come into downward facing dog. What feels right to you. If you're ready to come to standing, then you can, from table posture, step one foot forward and then the other foot forward. But we'll all meet here in a forward fold, right at the top of the mat. Maybe the legs are straight, maybe they're bent. Just explore this for a moment. So let's take a few more deep breaths. Maybe looking for some movement in the head and the arms, maybe looking for just a letting go sensation. Okay, at this time, we'll start to straighten the legs and engage the thighs. So we're pulling the thigh muscles in towards the bone, and they're lifting up as well. And then we'll inhale, come up halfway, lengthen, squeeze the shoulders back. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up to standing, reach the arms upwards. And then we'll bring palms together, thumbs to the heart center. We're going to come into Konasana, angle posture. So what we'll do is step the feet further apart just to the edges of the mat. So you can still face forward, but I'm going to face you. And then from here, keep the right hand on the right leg, and begin to take the left arm up and over to the right as you slide right hand down the leg. Now notice if the legs are just kind of like flimsy. If so, activate them again, engage the thighs. Now straighten that arm if it was bent. And then we'll inhale, rise. Left hand down the leg, right arm up and over, keeping the thighs engaged. Straighten the arm, top arm, bottom arm, both straight. And then inhale, rise up. Okay, so from the top of the mat, we'll have feet hips distance apart. Take the hands to the hips. Pull the pelvis in, squeeze the glutes, engage the thighs. Next, exhale, step the left foot to the back of the mat, and then bring the heel down. Right knee is lunging. We're going to stay here with the hands where they are for now. And then just continue. You could take the hands back a little bit. Push down into the sacrum. So that's like that reminder that the pelvis is pulling in here. Now take a finger, right finger maybe, to the chest and lift the chest. Bring the right hand back to the hip. And now a gentle push of the left hip back and the right hip forward. I'm sorry, other way. Right hip back, left hip forward. Right hip back, left hip forward. Just a gentle little tug. Another deep breath. So we're going to change this into a fold. So now we're going to straighten the right leg and turn the left toes so they face forward a little bit more, maybe all the way. So now we have straight legs. Okay, you could take the hands behind and find opposite elbows with the hands. And then inhale, lift the heart, look up. Exhale, start to fold halfway to start. So hopefully your blocks are close if you have them. If not, you might have to come out of this carefully. Should have let you know that before. But this can be done, of course, without blocks. So we're here with hands behind. This might be good. You might be able to lower a little bit more and get the heart towards the right foot, keeping the spine long. So no rounding in the back. So if you want to release the arms, you might bring the hands to the right leg and keep focusing on lengthening the back, even as you relax the trunk a little bit so that it lowers towards the right foot. Some might be able to bring hands to blocks around the foot or hands all the way down to the mat around the foot or the leg. So we're going to take 5 more deep breaths. A couple names for this: intense side stretch. Some call it pyramid posture. I think that's more from like the vinyasa tradition. Different names for the same shape. Let's say another deep breath. So the way we'll come back is we'll just bring the hands down, bend into the right knee, and step the left foot up next to the right. Okay, come up halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. You can reach the arms up. Palms together, thumbs to the heart center. Let's come into the other side. So let's take hands to hips first. And then step the right foot to the back of the mat, lunging into the left knee. Plant the right heel down. So we want a sense of stability here. So left knee is over left ankle. Maybe it's slightly before, but it's never past the ankle. If it is, realign. Hands go back towards the sacrum. Push down into the sacrum. Notice how that changes experience in the right thigh. So left hip back, right hip forward. You can just kind of press them a little bit to feel that. And then take maybe left fingers to the chest and lift the chest. Hands to hips. 3 deep breaths. Straighten the left leg. Adjust the right toes so that they're facing forward. Bring the hands behind to opposite elbows. Lift the heart, look upwards. Exhale, begin to hinge forward from the hip crease, not from the spine. Left hip is still going back, right hip still moving forward. Deep breaths. Watching the body transition into a deeper and deeper expression of this posture. Modifying creatively as you respond to the body. Let's say 3 more deep breaths. Now we'll start to, with the hands down, bend into the left knee, step the right foot forward, come up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, lower, rise all the way up. Palms together, thumbs to the heart center, stepping the feet apart to the edges of the mat again. So they're just about wider than hips distance. Into Konasana again, angle posture. So we can start to slide the right hand down the leg. Inhale, lift the left arm up and over to the right. And then we'll inhale, come to center. Exhale, other side. And inhale, come to center. So we're going to need props again. So since we're standing, find your blankets or pillows or blocks towards the front of the mat. Is about where we'll need them. I think I've got enough. Okay, so once you have them, let's find our way to the top of the mat, and then inhale, reach the arms upwards. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, find length. Exhale, hands down, step the left foot to the back of the mat, and then bring the left knee down. Hands to the inside of the right foot, heel toe the right foot to the right. Now this is where the blocks come in handy, or the blankets, whatever you're working with. So basically, if you have, uh, you know, less flexibility here, you can create a prop so that you can rest the forearms. Just taking pressure off of certain areas of the body, like the hands, gives the body a feeling of more of a restoration, less activation. And then when we're here, we might be able to lower the head. Some people can bring the forearms to the mat, and so you may not need the props, though we are going to use them for something else in a moment. So see, you might even just get creative again. Like I've never used blankets underneath my chest in this, but hey, you know what? It feels kind of good. So this is a dragon posture. You've got the left knee far back behind the hip, the right foot planted. The right knee is over the ankle, not past it. I want to have vertical posts many of the times. Okay, so see where you are. Take a few more deep breaths, and then we're going to just kind of take this maybe a little further. And if that doesn't work for you, then it's okay. So we're going to be just taking a twist here and just seeing what does it feel like? Does it work? Does it not work? And maybe you have like the left elbow on top of blankets, or the left palm down on the mat with the arm straight. Just pick up the right arm like you're in a twisting dragonfly, but we have the left knee down. Turning the chest to the right, the head upwards. Exhale out, release the right arm, and then come back into whatever variation you were in before and find a couple deep breaths. Start to come out of this. So let's be creative about how we're going to come out of this so that we can come into the next side the same way. So maybe we're on the knee, we bring the foot back to center. You know, you might do something else. Step the left foot up, step the right foot back, and then bring hands to the inside of the left foot, heel toe the left foot to the left. Set right knee down, far behind the hip. Stacking knee and left ankle. And then checking in. Looking for that place where you can rest. And finding that deep breath that makes this practice of breathing so much more efficient. You know, giving the body a better chance to actually process what needs to be processed. And at the same time, that goes for the mind as well. Couple more deep breaths. We're going to start to look for this twist. So when you're ready, you know, maybe you have forearm down, maybe palm down. Pick up the left arm. And exhale, left hand down. Couple deep breaths here. See how that has changed this posture. And then begin to plant the hands. So this time we're going to bring the right knee down, take the left knee to the mat. We're in a table posture. And then we're going to switch to actually standing on the knees to start, hands to hips. And we'll pull the pelvis in and come into a camel posture. Let's come into a half camel. So go ahead and roll over the left toes and see if your left hand can find the left heel. If it can easily, you might come back up, bring the foot down, top of the foot down, and then have hand to heel. Now, if this is not working, then you can just keep hands to hips. Okay, so otherwise, left hand to left heel. Begin to lift the right arm up and over. Coming into a nice back bend. Start to come out of this from the base of the spine, then work your way up. So activate the core to come up so you're not straining one part of the back. Then we'll bring the right hand to hip, left hand to hip, and then you can roll over the back toes maybe on the right foot. Bring hand to heel, left arm up and over, or you might find the other variation. Start to reverse out, hand to hip. Now to counter this, bring the hands to the mat for table posture, cross the ankles, come to seated. So this is where the props are going to come in handy. We're going to take something in front of the trunk and then take the legs out. It doesn't have to be to a very wide V at all. So just, separating the feet so that we have this structure in front of us. I don't know what's going to happen. We're just going to see. But basically, we're going to fold. Now, here's another option. If you're really tight in the back body and you have a chair, you can bring the chair close by. And basically, let's say the chair was right here, the seat of the chair, and this was the backrest. Then you can bring the arms right to the seat of the chair and rest the head on the seat. Okay, so that's good for really tight body. Otherwise, we're going to see if we can just kind of fold into this and totally release the upper body. Now, while we're here, we're going to flex the feet. And we can bend the knees. So I'm starting with bent knees because I can feel that otherwise I would be kind of straining. So I'm going to start with bent knees and I'm going to just watch this posture literally unfold before my, joking around again, my inner eye. And this way I could just let my trunk go. Some will insist on not using props, that's fine. But as long as you can come to that state of internal relaxation where the mind isn't trying so hard, right? So it's this balance between a relaxed effort versus grasping onto the desired result and pushing yourself to that result, right? So balancing between relaxed effort and just letting go instead of grasping. Some effort, for example, in the feet. The feet are active, the toes are pulling back. Now, if you relax the feet, notice what happens. Maybe that feels good. Check it out. See what works. And as you're here, notice that the body, upper body, can lower little by little. And we will allow for rounding of the back. So many times I say, don't round the back, don't round the back, in so many words. But at this time, just let it go. If you're trying too hard, then let the feet go. If you're trying still, let the arms go. Take a clearing breath here. Release through the mouth. At some point, it actually feels good when we know it's really not in our control. Now, as you're here, you might start to adjust. You might take the legs further out into a wider V. You might change the props around if needed or not needed. Make adjustments because there have been changes. And before we come out of this, I find a clearing breath in and out. Just come up halfway wherever you are. Walk closer to one leg, closer to the other leg. You'll feel the low back in that area, the area you're reaching away from. You'll feel that stretch. You can again go one side and then the other. And then we're preparing for lying down. If you look at it, maybe this whole practice was literally preparing us to come to Shavasana. So we can bring the legs closer together so we can fold them at this time and cross the ankles. All right. We're going to go back to Brahmari, um, that humming breath that we were doing earlier. And you can choose to sit as we were before. You can hold the arms up. And then we're going to come into Shavasana. So before we do that, look for a spinal twist. I'm going to leave it up to you what spinal twist feels right. Do you want to cross the ankles and just twist over to one side? Do you want to have one leg extended and the other foot planted, turning to the bent leg? Check in. At this point, you've probably practiced some yoga twists. Make sure you've traveled to both sides. And then once you're in center again, move the head in circles or side to side. As we did before, take the hands back. The feet are in a different shape this time, but just take the hands back and send the heart forward, opening front shoulders, opening chest. Relax the muscles in the face. And then come to a tall seat to once again practice this humming. Sounds like a bee, especially when you're in a room of people doing this. It's pretty cool. And then again, we're going to do this. I'll let you know when to stop. And then you'll just lie right down into Shavasana and you'll totally go, totally let go once you're there. So covering the eyes and covering the ears and beginning at your pace. Mm. Releasing that and finding your way to lying down. Releasing legs, releasing arms, sinking into the effects of the practice today. Releasing completely into the practice and the effects of it. Letting go even more. We've done our best. It's time for us to rest completely. Just resting in the wisdom of this practice. become aware of the body. Become aware of mind. Notice any thoughts, any feelings coming through. And slowly start to come out of the position here. Maybe hands and feet begin to move. Begin to deepen the breath. Maybe arms reach behind, finding length. And bringing knees to chest, arms around the knees. Finding your way up to seated to seal the practice today. Once you're here, we can bring palms together, thumbs to the heart center, eyes closed. Let's take a moment to think of others. Think of others. Think of the success of the world and its current challenges and all future challenges, but especially in the present, always in the present. And always remembering that humanity progresses. It just takes time. So we'll close with Mangalam mantra. Take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. You can join along or listen. Svasti prajabhya paripalayantam nyayena margena mahi mahisha go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I honor the light in you that is the same light in me. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. Half the class stayed for the whole practice today. It's always longer Saturdays and Sundays, and I'd keep going if I knew you'd stay. But thank you. I'll wish you all a beautiful day, and always look forward to hearing from you. Any feedback, any requests, anything like that. I'm always happy to hear from you, and I respond as well. Okay, so take care of yourselves.